that have ended up getting into trouble with passing driver's ed that we've just said, if you don't have your learner's permit on the day you were assigned to start that 9 weeks, then we're going to drop you. We're going to put you in team sports, or we're going to put you in business human principles, and you can't whine about it because you were told, okay? So when you register, your homework teachers will say, okay, put your date of birth on this form, so we make sure we put you in it after you've turned 15. Team sports. So if you look on that back side of your guide, so you get a little visual of what I'm asking you to do, you see one of those little blocks on the right-hand side where it says electives? Yeah, great. Glad you're paying attention. Team sports is a 9-week class, so this is how I want you to list it on your planning sheet. If you want team sports the whole semester, then you're just going to write it out twice, saying I want it 9 weeks. The elective 2 is an example of how to pair it with driver's ed. Can you pair team sports, driver's ed with American government? Yes, you can. You sure can. Human Resource Principles is a business class that delves into Georgia futures, and it does a lot of surveys and what we call introspective thinking on what your skill sets are, so you can start researching careers and college resumes and things like that. They do a lot of career exploration in there. So that's how we want you to make sure that you understand how to do those half-credit 9-week classes. You cannot take team sports more than one block in a semester. So you can't have team sports first block and fourth block in the same semester. We won't allow it. Weight training. Some of you, especially the football players, are required by your coaches to have it year-round. Know that that takes up 2 of your electives. So if you need it year-round, you need to tell your homeroom advisor to make sure they put A and B on that little form, and they know that. That will give it to you year-round. If you have a sport that requires you to have it a specific semester, then A is for semester 1, B is going to be for semester 2. If you don't care, you can just mark it. Like, just put, I want weight training. I don't care what you put me in, just put me in it. Okay? Ladies, we also have a body sculpting class in addition to weight training, and we also have girls-only weight training, and we have boys-only weight training. This might be a little bit different than 9th grade. Okay. Schedule changes. Oh, I could spend the next half hour talking about those. Because they're very important. Because let me tell you how this big machine called Power School works. We input in your request into the computer, and then our data entry person pushes this magic button, and it goes, whoo, and it uses all the algorithms to try to build you an 8-block schedule. But here's the thing, you know, there's only so many algorithms that we can come up with. So, for example, we see a lot of problems. And so we try to check those schedules before they go out, but every now and then something slides through. So you might have Spanish 2 semester 1 and Spanish 1 semester 2. That's a problem, okay? And trust me, it's a problem. And so when we find things like that, or you find things like that in your schedule that, hey, I don't think this is right, then yes, we want you to come tell us so we can fix it for you. That's our job, right? But what is not our job is when you haven't taken this process real seriously, and you haven't spoken to your parents about goals, and you haven't thought about which classes are truly interesting to you, you're just going to sign up for that class because your friend's in it. And your friend said that that's what you need to do. Because here's what's going to happen at 10th grade. You're going to get that class, but your friend's not going to be in the same block that you're in, or not going to have the same teacher that you have, and you're going to be disappointed and go, well, my partner in crime in here, and I don't like this class, I want out. And we're going to look at you and say, so sad, it's on your card, you asked for it, you got it. Okay? Because we could really spend the first 6 weeks of school tweaking everybody's schedule. So hear me when I say, if it goes on that elective card that your teacher fills out, you're going to have it in your schedule next year, unless it's a conflict that we have to change for whatever reason. So please take this process seriously. I want you to have a good schedule. Who wants to give you a schedule that you don't want to come to school to enjoy? We want it to be good. But this is where you've got the control and power to do this right during this process. Okay? So please take it seriously. Talk to your teachers, talk to your parents, look at that course guide, look at all those electives. They got a lot of cool choices now. So what we usually do for schedule changes is we have a website, which I'll show you in a quick sec, but we'll tell you the dates, and we'll actually have an E copy of a schedule change that you can fill out, and it'll go straight to your particular counselor. And then we have times and deadlines that will say, hey, we'll have these completed by this date. Here's what you can help me do. You know, when school starts back up again, this is a little crazy across the road. And so we're working literally 15, 16 hours a day trying to make sure your schedules are okay. So if you put in a schedule change, give us a day or two to fix it. Don't call us and don't give us 10 emails going, hey, you haven't fixed my schedule yet. I'm looking at it and it's still there. Give us some time. Sometimes it takes the first couple of days of school before we're actually able to open up a class. I'll give you an example. One of the real popular classes, like auto mechanics, that class stays full. We have a waiting list for that in engineering. And so I may not be able to fix your schedule change for a couple of days because I'm waiting to see if people drop that class and if there's seat space. And as soon as there's seat space, I'll get you right in it. So one of the things about schedule change is what can help us get it done really quick and painless is if you just follow those directions, respect those deadlines, and then just be patient while we work through them. Because we really do want you to have a good schedule. All right, so again, I'm Miss McShane. Those are the letters of the alphabet, so just think about who you might have for next year. And we have a website, and I thought I would pull it up, but it might be a little hard since I'm way over here. You can write this down on your course guide if you want. It's hchscounselors.weebly.com. This is the counselor's website, not the school website. So we got all kinds of really good stuff and good information on there. If you've lost your course guide, it's on the home page. You can download it or you can open it up to view it. And we have lots of good time left. So here's what I'd like to do. You listening? We're going to do this old school style. If you have a question, I might ask your lovely teachers to help me with this. There's somebody else in the audience that probably has the same question. So I'd like for you just to kind of maybe have a line back here, and you come up and say your question so everybody can hear it, and I'll do my best to answer it. If I don't know it, I'll make a mental note, and I'll send the answer once I find it out to Miss Escamilla, and she can get back to you. Okay? Because there are some things I don't know. All right, so who might have a question? Let's come up here. And everybody's like, no, are you kidding? That's public. I'm not doing that. You're going to have to get over that when you come to 10th grade because it doesn't matter anymore. Once you go to 10th grade, everybody's like, ah! It's okay. Just be comfortable with yourself. Just come ask him questions. If you don't know, come ask. Come over here. Come over here. Right here. Meet me halfway. You can do it, man.
I just need you to go back to the website.
Back to the website. I worked a lot harder for that than you did. Okay, there's the website. That was easy. What else you got?
What else you got?
I got one behind me. All right. I've got a customer. All right, quiet down so you can hear.
All right. So if we're 15 already, will you give us the driver's ed before we turn 16?
If you bring chocolate, yes, we'll do anything. Here's the thing. Yes, if you have already turned 16, can you take driver's ed? Okay. Before you turn 16. No, you got to have, it's best to have it when you're 15, because that's when it impacts your parents' insurance rates. Okay? So can you take it once you are 16? Sure. But it ain't going to do a whole lot of good on your parents' insurance rates. That's why it's real important to put your date of birth down there so we can get you in the right 9 weeks. Because we want to make sure as soon as you can finish that class and get that parent that break on that insurance, that's what we're trying to do. So can you sign up for it if you're older than 15 when the class starts? Yes. If there is seat space. Okay, quiet down. We have another. Shh. I didn't answer it. Come back. She's 15 already.
I'll turn 16 in September.
Yes.
Will I have driver's ed?
Yes. Yes, if you put your date of birth down. I promise. What you got?
Okay, well, we're going to the 9 week classes that we're going to pair with
She asked a great question. She said, since the American government is a half credit. On that little social sciences line on your little handy-dandy student planning sheet, should we go ahead and put the other class that we want to? Yes. I like the way that you're thinking. Did I answer your question? I'm getting better at this.
Languages that they offer, would that count as a foreign language?
Oh, good question. I think she asked me, if you do Georgia Virtual School for your foreign languages, does that count as your requirement? Yes. Yes. She said, can you do it over the summer? Yes, but here's the downside. Are you listening? Georgia Virtual School is only free if it is in the regular school year. That would be semester 1 or semester 2. Anything over the summer has to come out of parents' pocket, and it ain't cheap. It's $500 for 1 credit class. Just so you know. Is it an option? Yes. But if it's a class that's not credit recovery on Georgia Virtual, you will have to pay.
Is there any other way to take a language over the summer?
Is there any other way to take a language over the summer besides paying $500 at Georgia Virtual? There is a possibility of being able to enroll in Move On When Ready. However, I can't answer that today because the 7 partners that we have for Move On When Ready, they haven't released all of their summer and fall course catalogs yet. That's why we're pushing that conversation past March 20th, because we just don't know what they're going to offer. So there is a possibility, and I promise that once those course guides are available, Ms. Escamilla will make that announcement, and we can see if that's doable for you. Okay? Did I answer it? Sure. Okay.
I want to take 2 art classes. Am I allowed to do that?
Yes. Did you have an art class this year? What'd you take? Okay. So she took Visual Art Foundations. We have, and you can go in different pathways for that, but the next logical one is going to be Drawing and Painting 1. So yes, we could have students that take Drawing and Painting 1 semester 1, Drawing and Painting 2 semester 2, and then that kind of prepares you your junior and senior year to do some AP work if you wanted to. So you have studio design, you have a couple other classes. So here's the trick with 10th graders. You ready? Getting those electives depends on, is there another conflict in your schedule? Because sometimes, let's say you want the Drawing and Painting 1, but you also really, really want this other class. Well, what if they're only taught at the same time, the same block, the same semester? So you have to choose. That's why on your student planning sheet, it's so critical for you to make good choices on your alternates. Those are the classes that if we can't give you one of your electives because there's a conflict, we have to go look at your alternates and maybe move one of those up into your elective choices. So make sure that you're putting good choices down that you can live with. Don't just throw something down because you think it doesn't matter because you might get it. Did I answer your question? For fine arts, we also have photography. We have jewelry making and design. We have sculpture. If you haven't started with an art class this year and haven't been lucky enough to have Ms. Huff, you could do Visual Art Foundations, which is like a prerequisite for some of those other art classes. So you have lots of options. What else you got? It's an easy crowd. Come on, somebody give me something hard. No? All right, what about teachers? Do you have anything that you would like us to cover that we left out? Things that you would like these students to know? I think we lost the teachers about a half hour ago. Y'all right? Yeah, okay. Do what? You might be right about that. Okay. So tomorrow, here's what's really important. Here's what's really important. Please show up. If you're going to skip a day, don't do it on advisement registration day because, hey, I'll get to you. Here's the thing. If you don't do this, you are literally telling your teacher, I don't care, you pick for me. Now, I don't know how much that teacher likes you, but you think about how much fun they could have with that. Okay? So please take ownership and responsibility. Pick classes. Make good choices. What, you had a question?
Before the question, show up to school tomorrow, but also we're doing this on Thursday. So show up to school on Thursday for our registration.
Awesome. That might have changed last time. Okay. And where'd my other young lady go? Right behind you. What was your other question?